Good morning. It is a beautiful, amazing morning in the city of Toronto. We got a little snow last night. So it's okay. Good morning, sis. We got some snow last night. Not a lot, about an inch. Good morning, Ryan. How are you pedaling through the snow this morning? Hi, Ryazim. We got some snow last night. So this is our first small snowstorm of 2023-24. Hi, Georgie. Good morning. Good morning, you wonderful people. And it's okay to have snow. It's amazing. Hi, Loretta. Good morning. How is the snow when you look out your window? It wasn't so bad. It's actually melting. So when I woke up though at 4:15, it looked like a winter wonderland because it was sticking on all the branches that are free of leaves right now. So you can imagine how it looks. It was just nature doing its thing. The power of God and the universe. We have a combination there and things. Good morning, Lynn. To see that snow. Good morning, Amma. How are you this morning? We have a sprinkling, but it's not a sprinkling, it's more than an inch. It will not have to be shoveled, it will melt away, but we had snow today. Good morning, Jersey girl. Welcome. Amazing, wonderful people. It's 8 o'clock. Ha, ha, ha. And did you remember to serve yourself today with your Christmas cup? Hi, Kia, how are you? I was speaking to my brother, my baby brother, some baby. And hi Nancy, and he said, you know, that tea you told me to make, he said, I can't even stay up at night to watch TV, I'm gone. And he said, I sleep right through the night. And I go, oh, good for you. He said, do you have any more recipes? I said, no, I'll give them to you as you need them. So here is what I'm giving you this morning. Here is your vitamin for today. You are an influencer. You influence others every day. So what time was it this morning? 5:30, and in the middle of my meditation, I have to stop because this is what you're talking about today. Simple as that. It's the same way when I get my affirmation, it just felt like it was up there. And it went, everything I do is amazing, beautiful, and spectacular. You guys hear it all the time. Everything I see is amazing, beautiful, and spectacular. And that's my affirmation. But it was like downloaded. And the reason why I always tell you guys I do not prepare properly, because I don't know what to prepare. Years ago at St. Mike's, I mentioned it already, I went in to pray because that was August of 1997. Everything that could go bad for me and my family was. I was sick, I had to have surgery. My husband was diagnosed with cancer. They stole my van and the furnace broke down in the middle of a heat wave. My manager at the bank looked at me and he said to me, if anybody could go through this and come out unscathed, it's going to be you. So just keep going. Take as much time as you need. I didn't need to take time. I just kept going. But I went to church because that's all I knew. I didn't know that there was anything else to do. I don't know what to do. So I go to church to pray. And that day when I walked into church, I was really ready to kneel down, as all Catholics do, and put our knees on the board and begin to pray. And as I did that, I heard in my head, and I don't care whether you believe or not, shut up, sit down, we need to talk to you. So I took it to mean, you've been talking and talking and talking, now it's our turn. So luckily, as I write everywhere I go. So I have a little steno pad kind of thing in my purse. I pulled it out on a pen, and I started to write what I heard. And what I heard at the time in my mind's eye, and I believe it was directed by God, I have no other friend that is whispering in my ear. And it was, you are a daughter of a king, walk like you are. Keep your head up. No matter what's going through your life, do not carry it on your face. It's not necessary to do that. And when somebody asks you, how are you doing? Tell them I am absolutely amazing or wonderful. So I started saying I am wonderful. My children, my nieces, my nephews would hear it. Here comes Miss Wonderful. And I practiced it. Then the other part of it was that just open your mouth and we'll tell you what to say. Now remember, I was not speaking then. I was not doing any of that. I was coaching. I was helping others at the bank. I was mentoring in the position I was. But I was not a speaker to come out there and do that. And it's only now, though, when I look back at the circle and the notes I will get on DM, I will find out that you influenced me, you encouraged me, you pushed me. I admired you. I love how you dress. I didn't know that. I met somebody about 4 weeks ago. Not met, I knew her as a child living on her street. Her family left maybe 20 years ago. And she said, every day you will walk into work to go to the bus. Good morning, Lisa. I admired your suits that you wore. She said, and I always told my mother, I want to have suits like this. She said, today, I just want you to know that I have a job where I have to dress that. I go to work 3 days a week and 2 at home. And she said, good morning, Lisa, because of you, I dress up. And I didn't know I influenced her. So you influence others every day. That's why this is here. Never doubt that you influence other people. Do not do that. Do not doubt that you have an influence on others. Every person alive today has the power of influencing others. You do not need to be active on social media to be an influencer, because we just took that word and we figure if you're on social media and you have 1 to 20 million followers and you're talking and you're influencing others, that's true. That is one new way of doing it. You do not need to be an actor to be an influencer. You do not need to be a sports star to be an influencer. You do not need to be a great speaker to influence others. You do not need to be a politician, a doctor, or a lawyer. The thing is that we influence others every day. Our essence influences others. Yesterday I had an encounter at Costco because I needed to get some things, not much. My listing on, go to Costco. And as I'm coming around the corner with a thing of coconut oil in my basket, somebody said to me, does that just stay in your system and it doesn't melt? Because back in Sri Lanka, it would melt, but here it's solid. So I said, no, when you bring it home, it will melt. And then he started talking to me. And he spoke to me and he told me about the cholesterol situation. And then I said to him, why did you stop me and talk to me? He said, because I just felt your energy was somebody that had something to tell me. So I said, there you go. When you wake up in the morning, before you brush your teeth, drink water. Why? And I told him why. You guys know why. Anyway, and I left, going to pack my things in the car. Guess who's parked right next to me? When I went there, I didn't know who was there. But as I'm unpacking the things into the cart, he says, hey, here you are, you're right next to me. And I didn't know what that meant. I went, okay, so that was something, obviously, the universe wanted us to do. And maybe about 40 years old, he said, you know, I have 2 children and a wife. I would like my daughter to speak to you. She's very young, but I think you'd be the right person to speak to her. So I said, I am on Instagram, check it out. And I just said my name and I left. So anyway, because you have to be like that, right? So what I'm trying to say is right where you are an influencer. As long as you are alive, you are an influencer. Even if you're a shy person, you're an influencer. So we do it unconsciously. It is so easy that you influence somebody by your essence. Your essence is the energy that you bring. Your essence is like your fragrance. And somebody can do this. How did it happen that we parked right next to each other? I don't know this person. I don't even know where he lives in the city. And then he said to me, I spoke to a cashier in there and I said, I just met a fabulous and amazing lady. And I was referring to you. And I go, okay. He said, because most people, even when you say hello, they don't answer. So keeping yourself in a cocoon does not mean you're not influencing people. So there you are. And you believe, I'm not talking to the neighbors, I'm not phoning, I'm just going to see them. If they look at me, I'll say, I walk the street, my head is down. Guess what? You're still influencing others. You are influencing everything that has energy. You influence the plant on the sidewalks that you see. You influence the trees in your neighborhood. Your energy is the energy. What it is we give out, And the trees give us back its carbon and whatever. I know you guys know better than me. So we send out that negative breath, and the trees and all those things need it. They take it so they can give us the right thing to breathe in. So when we are standing and we believe, because we are this single person or this one human being, we're not influencing others. We need to really realize, yes, good morning, Cyrus, we are all influencers. Whether you're influencing a person intentionally or whether you are being, in the process of being, you are influencing others. You are alive, you are influencing. Your energy goes out before you. Your energy is all around you. They call it karma. They call it everything. Your 5 senses are part of your influencing. As much as you think, we don't take the gifts and those things that we were given at birth and realize how powerful they are. Your sense of smell. When you say, I smelled this, or like my brother-in-law told me, you're free and you smell good. And my husband said, that's not how you talk to a lady. And you say, your perfume intox. And then when you realize where he was going, he says, never mind, she smells good as far as you're concerned. But you have to realize, it's not your perfume that you smell, the one you paid $500 for, that is an influencer. That is not what brings you out. It's the essence of your being. It's something that flows from you. And you influence a child, because they said they mimic us. When you see Kylie's doing a live, you would think she's 10, because she realized what she has to do and how she speaks. She learned it by observing me. And one day she started talking and she goes, well, guys, let's talk about relationship. And I turn and I go, what is she doing? She had a little tripod of mine. She bent it down and she's doing no camera, nothing. I influenced her that way. When she uses words, she uses something like perfect. And that is how we do it. But when we are walking through this earth, we are touching people. We are touching people not because we intentionally go out to touch them. We are touching them by how we feel about ourselves. You all know, we have all seen it, and we maybe make a judgment because we don't know. We not only a judgment, we make an assumption. We see somebody coming towards us and their face looks like it's not placid, it's not in place. You can see the what you call it, the frown, and you just don't know. You don't know. And you might think that person is unhappy, but see what happened? Their face, they haven't spoken to you, influenced your thoughts. And they might have seen your face and they might have ignored that, because your light, your smile, your inner smile coming from inside out might have frightened them. And they will not understand it. So when you take your time and you realize that you have a part to play in this universe because you are alive. Good morning, Angela. You influence people by the very breath of life that you take without any effort. How do you do that? You do that because when you take that breath and somebody calls you, they know you're alive, your children, your husband, your wife, you are alive. When you lose that breath, you influence them too. So that is why we have to be careful how we think. Because it's not only our thoughts that influences us. That thought sends a face expression, an anger, an expression that just rubs it. That was one of the reasons, no matter what position they offered me in head office, I refused to go to head office. You know why? I wanted to feel the energy of the people coming in and going out in the bank. I wanted to, every customer was different. And everyone had their challenges or they had their joy. And in an office, in the back offices, I'm up there making more money maybe. I deal with the same human beings every day. And every day I face them. So the angry person that walked into the bank today and fighting for 25 cents is not coming back tomorrow. And all you say when that anger is hitting you and you're at the bank, you go, okay, well, sooner or later you have to go home. And that's how you say it. But when you sit there and you realize that you have that thing to do, how do you do that? Somebody is ragging on you, face-to-face customer service telling you off, and you just take it. When they have nothing left in them to give, they say, oh shit, you must be some special person. You didn't flinch. You didn't make, that's what one woman told me. She was so angry at whatever. And she just decided she's going to come, will not sit in my office, stand up and blast me for whatever and tell me, now that I retired from the government, they called me back, I'm making more money than I did. And that wasn't making it. She was angry. And then she asked me, said to me, you must be some special person because all of that I threw at you, you never said a word. I looked at her and I said, lady, I have 3 people to feed and educate. That's all I said to her. And she left. So she influenced me. Her attitude made me never be like this. So when you sit there and you doubt you influence people, be careful with how you think. You do not, you see, let's look at some simple ways how you unconsciously influence all the people you meet. You do not have to open your mouth to influence a human being. Like that man walking towards, and I could see, you know, his face was not appealing. You asked the other one that approached me because, I don't know, something attract that to the point where he asked questions. Your presence without speaking, you influence. When you walk and you're moving your body, and you're actually moving like you are angry at the concrete, you're ponging your feet on, or you are dragging it on, or you decide to throw something on. Words that women use to me, and I want to throttle them. You do not throw things on. You're not a garbage dump. You influence when you speak. I'm just going to throw something on. Come on, you deserve better than that. Don't you know that? That is what I'm saying. So the person that looks at you, the husband, the wife that says, they don't say something. Your children, they don't say. I remember I was at a wedding in Jamaica in 2018 and I sent Michael a picture. He said, Mom, you look so pretty. I didn't see it, but he saw it. It influenced him to repeat it. He saw that. So when you dress and you have something nice on, you influence. When you have something, I don't know, you influence, whatever. So you do not have to speak. Your thought rests on your face. And before it gets to words, you have already set the fire. The fire is burning because you haven't even realized that, hey, you're doing this again. Do you stand up to eat? Do you eat and chomp as the mouth of the reporter is talking at the same speed on the TV? Or do you sit to eat so that you can enjoy what you're eating? You influence others. When you put yourself last, you tell them you're not good enough, you're not deserving of their attention or their love. You influence others that you tell me things that you say, you know, well, I am so exhausted. I cannot go down that rabbit hole. I don't know that because I know for sure if I tell you I'm exhausted, you cannot give me the remedy for that. I need to connect to physician, heal thyself. So, but you call, and I'm looking at the phone. I'm going, should I go or should I stay? And I'm saying that because I know when you're coming to me, it's not going to be something joyous. It's the same thing. You influence people by your behavior. How you look is important. When you speak is even worse. When you act on it, it's 10 times. So you decide, I am going to let them have it today. And where you going with it? I had a lady who's a born-again Christian, and she said to me, God will be good for you Catholics. And I said, he better be good for us. Because there's no other way. But she didn't mean it that God was going to be good to me. She meant like a punishing God. So I don't think she realized she set me free by telling her right back, hey, good is a good word. So I don't know what you're talking about. Only I said, he better be good to me. He promised me he would be good to me. She had no answer. But she influenced my thought that day to realize her words was maybe more of her punishing herself. She influenced. And that is why we need to look at what we do. When, excuse me, when you express yourself through the 5 senses, you influence. Oh, that music is so loud, is this, or it's so soft. I love this music. Influence. I love the sound of the piano. I coached someone and I had to bring her down, and I said, listen to Debussy's piano. And she did. And she called back and said, oh my God, that really dropped me. And I knew what she meant, because it brought her down from where she was sailing up without any direction. So her sense of hearing really woke up. And then it's funny, the feel of the music saturating her brain got her up. So your senses are how you influence people. She's expressing to me that it really brought me down. I get what she's saying. You think she knew she influenced me there? Maybe not. Hi, Yuko, good morning. And then when you express it through your 5 senses, you get it. You taste. What do you say? Influencing. When you go and you smell, influencing. When you smell, oh, that rose smells amazing. Influencing. When you touch, influencing. When you touch your lover, influencing. When you touch something prickly, influencing. You see, the 5 senses are still working, and the biggest one is when we speak. When we speak and we use words that are not enhancing and not purposeful and not directed in the right way, we influence. So we have to be careful with that saying, oh, I'm not on social media, I'm not a big influencer. Let me read some of your comments, because I wasn't reading them. I didn't want to forget. Yesterday, I went for a walk, Stacey said, and wasn't going to go. I heard this mom say, hey, Stacey, I was like, how does she know me? We realized we grew up together. There you go. So somebody saw you and called you. Now you remember, okay, you had a chat. You said good things to her. My daughter does that. She records on my phone, mimicking me. Hi, I am Coach Giovanna, and today life is about building unbreakable confidence. You think they do? The first time I saw her do that, I was, wow, my kids are watching and learning. I have to be aware of my influence. Yes, we have to be aware of those words all the time, and how we act. And that is why it's important. Because we are doing things, and that is close to home. But what about somebody sees you on the street and you're behaving like you're crazy? Did you influence that person? Did you? Of course you did. Maybe in a negative way, but it's still an influence. How you influence others is important. If you are aware that you are an influencer, if you are aware that you are not supposed to only be on social media to influence others, then you are going to win. You'll be more careful. You'll be more in the moment, because you know something you're doing is influencing the plant. What did they say? Speak to your plants, play music. Hey, influencing plant. We do when we breathe, because our terrible breath goes out and they send it back to us so that we have the right breath thing to breathe. And we will never stop influencing as long as we have a beating heart. When you look at the 5 pillars of prosperity, like the 5 senses, they also cause you to influence. So let's look at how emotionally you influence others. Your reaction to what you have seen, heard. Remember, 5 senses: taste, smell, touch. How you react is based on your emotions. Your emotions takes its cue from your 5 senses that you were born with. The sense of smell, hearing, touching, tasting, feeling, whatever. Right? The 5 senses. And that is what we have done. We have to realize that our emotions are based entirely on the 5 senses. And then when we choose to react, we must realize our reaction is going to set the table of how our day goes. Sometimes our reaction sets the table of how the rest of our life goes. The rest of our life. Because your reaction. Should I go or should I stay? Ask that question. Which one are you asking right now? I'm going to do this. I'm going to get angry. I'm going to let them have a piece of my mind. Guess what? When the woman said, God is going to be good for me, it didn't affect me. But she's already making assumptions about someone she doesn't know. So she left that influence, that taste, that energy, and in a way she influenced me. So when you look now at your mental ability to comprehend, to be able to deliver what you have studied and deliver it correctly, appropriately, influence. Somebody watching you doing something will say, wow, she has really good mental acuteness. This person is smart. And you influence them, saying, okay, I see, I can learn from that person. Or the mental behavior and what they say will leave you dumbfounded. Why would they think like that? They influence you. A spiritual person influences you. That lady influenced me. She told me that the God she worships, that she's hoping that I worship, is a what you call God, a retribution God. A God that is going to pound you on the head. But somehow I have a different version than that. I got in trouble at school when I asked Sister Theophana. I said, well, if God is so kind, why do you keep telling me he's going to punish me? And then if he's so kind and he said he sent his son and he paid the price, why do I need to pay it again? She couldn't answer me, so she told my father I was, what was the word? I can't remember. Something, I was rude or argumentative. That was the word. Anyway, so here I'm still that way. So you see, spiritually, you have to believe. If you believe in a spiritual being or the universe got your back, you cannot doubt that. And you have to influence people by saying your belief. You're not asking people to follow you and do what you do. You are telling people, this is me. And when, no matter who you are, and you tell me you're doing it for somebody else, you're telling a lie. You're doing it because you choose to do it. And you influence them, and how you let them accept you, or how you let them treat you, it's your choice to allow them to influence your life that way. Then, physically, how do you do that? Are you fit? Do you keep yourself healthy? Do you do what you must do to make sure you look good? Hi, Sabria. Do you do that? Do you go out of your way to eat the right food so that you are in your 70s and 80s or 100 and you're still functioning? Do you? Because that is how you influence others. I always was so proud that my father lived in his 90s and so did my mom. But I watched what they did. They worked. They didn't stop running their businesses. They didn't just sit down and say, well, I'm retired. I'm sitting on my laurels now. They moved. And that is telling me, if my father and in his late 90s was so slim, why am I heavy? What am I doing that he didn't do? How can he influence me? My mother, who was born 100 years before her time, was such a wise and astute, good businesswoman. How did she influence me? By observing what she did, how she behaved, and how she dressed. My mother was a dresser extraordinary. She would say to you, the day I feel the worst, that's the day I dress the best. The day I'm going to the bank to get a loan, when I walk in there, if you do not know better, you think I am giving them a loan. And so I picked that up. Influencing, it's there. So now how are you influencing the people around you to see how physically fit you are? That doesn't mean you have to run a marathon, but you have to keep moving. And that tells these people that you don't know, or the people on the street who say to me, I was playing soccer with Micah, and one of my neighbors said to me, when I have grandchildren, I want to be just like you. You and Micah playing basketball and soccer and running around and all of that, boomerang flying all over the place. I want that. I influenced her. That was not my intention. I was in my backyard doing my thing. But she saw it. So without knowing, I influenced her. Now, let's look at financial influencing. Remember I said your 5 senses and the 5 pillars of prosperity, they are together. How do you influence others financially without you knowing? When you say to your children, no, we are broke, we don't have much money, we're not going to be able to do that. Do they need that information? Do you want them to go to school and feel less than? You cannot find something to buy. You cannot put a little bit of money out there and go look for something small and make it exciting? Can you not stick things on things and create something? You are influencing their behavior by saying, oh, we don't have money, our family don't have money, Christmas is going to be bleak. Come on, it doesn't have to be bleak unless you decide it is bleak. But when you are influencing little people, sometimes you do it unconsciously. At Canadian Tire, it's like Home Depot. I'm in line behind a family of 4. These 2 kids and the parents, and the kids are putting things on the belt, the parents are taking it off, and that they're going on. And then the father said, listen, we don't have money for this. And the child, he must be among 7, he said, well, why don't you put it on the credit card? You put everything on the credit card. And I'm standing there and I'm listening to that. The mother looks at me feeling sheepishly and, she goes, children. And I'm going, he would get one backhand, he would end up in Lake Titicaca, all the way in Africa. It does exist, So I would have taken that child to the car and let him feel what he just heard, what he just said, how it hurt. Oh, you can't do that these days. You can't stop that. So anyway, the point of this is that there they were influencing him financially. You do not have the money to spend, you put it on the credit card. There is more. Then they walk, oh, we cannot do this because the credit card is over limit. They hear that. Or what about you take that other influencing that some of us do and go, like when I said to Michael, I'm saving your money. One day he walk up and I'm working at the bank. I don't think he understood it well. He said, I'm coming to that bank to see where you're putting my money. I go, okay. So he knew I was putting it there. So he wanted to come to see where I'm putting his money, just in case, right? So you have to remember, you have those influencing opportunities every minute of every day. You have to choose to do that. You do not have to be on social media. You do not have to be an actor, movie star, or any of this. You do not have to be a politician or a lawyer or a doctor, a candlestick maker. You just have to be. By being, you're influencing. When you never doubt that you are influencing, what you must do is to be aware that you do and do your best every day to influence in the right way. Understand that? So you do not have to be saying, I have to be careful when I'm influencing. Do your best. Watch your words. When you choose words that enlighten you, that enhance you, that encourages you, you are influencing. When you say, I am amazing, I love myself. And a child, another human being that is doubting to love themselves might say, you know what? I'm going to love myself. When people say to me that, how long are you going to do this for? You know who I think about? What is his name? Stephen Hawkins? Is it Stephen Hawkins? He was in a wheelchair and the machine spoke and his body was gnarled and twisted. He died not too long ago. But what happened is he never stopped doing his physics and all what he was doing. He never stopped. Yesterday they said Norman Lear died. Maybe some of you don't know him. But he was fabulous producer and director for all what he did at 101. And somebody said he never really stopped being. He was always involved. So that is why we must remember that influencing does not mean big social media, 10,000 followers. You can look and see somebody who has 10,000 followers. I'll answer that question in a minute. 10,000 followers and they're doing a live. You have to ask, and they're the only one and 2 other people. Where are the people they're influencing? So do not run and base your life on followers or subscribe. I don't care. Because I do it because I feel I have something to do. And I'm doing it because it empties my cup into the ethers. It doesn't empty my cup anywhere else except in the ethers. And if others have their cups ready, they will catch it. But if the lid is on your cup and you're contented, you're good enough, and you say that there is no way to learn, I'm too old to learn, and nobody can teach me anything, I know everything, then you cannot get anything in the cup. It will just fall on the lid and fall around it. So we have to be careful. when you have it, pour it out there. Because it's only in emptying the vacuum cleaner that it is able to suck more dirt. It's always emptying your stomach every day that gives you the ability to take more food in to nourish you, right? The greatest machine ever created, the greatest example of how to live your life is to watch the human body. Anyway, guys, let me see when did you decide to be on social media to influence others? That was never my intention. I don't know. It was another mountain to climb, James. I'll tell you what. I didn't decide. I don't know. I coached for many, many years on finance and life skills for free, even when I was employed at the bank. And then, I don't know, social media kind of opened up and I was curious. I'm curious. I love trying new things. I'm not afraid of anything. I'll go. And I decided, why not find out? But what happened, to be honest, is that when you have grown children, the only thing they know how to use in this modern world is their iPhone or their phones, their devices. So to communicate with my children, I started sending notes out in the morning to them. And if you look at my book, The Morning Blessings on Amazon, you will see where I talk about that. And that is what that has brought me there. So that started years ago, but I always loved teaching somebody how to do better. Even when I was working at the bank, that's why I stayed in the branches, because I could get people out of debt. I could get people to dream big and buy that house they wanted, to go on that trip. I could tell a young woman that is a black young lady that is a teaching, who's a social worker and has her master's, and she's driving from one end of the city to the other, and say to her, hi, you should have a better car. That car can break down anytime with you on the highway. You're always on the highway. So I could teach her that. I could encourage her. I could show her how to save gradually, simple, step by step to get that new Jeep she bought. And I could tell the one that wanted to have her own condo how to save and how to buy it before it is built, because no, you have 4 more years to save. So I always did that. So I don't know if it was that. And again, I am number 2 in the family. So I was always there. Anyway, so let me answer. When did you decide to do so? Thank you for influence and encouragement. You are amazing and very much appreciated. Thank you, Kia. Good morning. When my kids wanted things that I couldn't afford, I would say not today. You know what I always said, James, if you're still there? I said to my kids, the money we have is allocated for something else. And even when a friend asks you to borrow money and you do not want to do it, you never say you don't have money or you're broke. You say, the money I have is allocated for something else. You don't have to be rude, but you're speaking the truth. And with the kids, what you said, not today. And that is good. Love playing basketball with your boys. I know I will dress best when I feel worse, your mom said. Yeah, it is. That's what she said. That's a good way to do it. Who else? When did social media? I totally agree. Some influencers buy followers. I don't know what they do. Amen to this morning blessing. Thank you, Lynn. I had 9 people join this morning. They engaged me with lots of comments on your Japanese channel. That was nice. I came in. I always go to see what you're saying because you stopped to say something in English. So guys, we are going beyond the time, which is never anything. And tomorrow, Amma, you guys all know Amma. She was on earlier. I don't know if Amma is still here. And let me see this. Oh yeah, Amma is still here. Tomorrow, Amma is going to join me on the morning blessings. I'll tell you why. I thought it was only one person that sent me that note. Somebody sent me the note. And in the note, they said, you should do a live with Amma. She's so in sync with what you're talking about. And then I said, oh, okay. And then another note came. That lady Amma is very, she gets involved. I love her comments. So I said, okay, you should have her on. I go, fine. So I'm having Amma on. But Amma is Amma is in England. So she's 5 hours ahead of us. But what is so fun is that Amma asked me what the topic will be. And I said, I don't know. It comes in the morning. There have been days when my topic comes to me at 5 minutes to 8. And I had just to go with it. And then since I sent the energy out to the universe and to God that I want to be more, make it more, linked, I find that I get them long enough, early enough, so I can write what I write to do. That's why I'm writing. I asked to be better at doing it, to put it more in groove and stuff like that. And I got an answer. And I followed the answers. So you have to be careful. Remember, there was one thing that you were told, all of us, was ask and you will receive. So once you ask for something, you're going to get it from God, the universe, whatever you want. But do not doubt it and say, oh, that is just me thinking. No, you're not that good. You need the guidance of God. We all do. So when I realized I wanted to raise my bar, stretch a little higher, I decided, you know what? I listen to my stuff when I do it. I go back and listen. And I say, I just want to put it together in a way that it makes more sense. Because sometimes I tend to use words that doesn't always get there for others. So I try to do that. In order to do that, I had to ask for guidance on that. And then one day, I started noticing to use this for your morning blessings. And that's how I do this. So Amma will be on tomorrow, and Amma will just dive in. If the water is deep or the water is shallow, we'll swim. We'll talk, and I don't know, we'll figure it out. Right, Yuko? We'll figure it out. The universe will help us. But Amma is interesting. She lives in England. She's from Ghana, but was raised in England. So she has an English accent. She has 2 children. She has a really handsome husband, too. And she's not bad looking herself. So she'll have some fun, and she really knows her stuff. How can I reach you for personal guidance? I need a spiritual personal coach. Just send me a message. Remember, it's not free. I charge. So I can help, but I charge for that. I don't know, but if I can help you in a few words, I will. So you have to know that I will answer your question. And if it is all you need, then it's good. But coaching requires an hour, and mostly every week. So just DM me. You're on the live. You've come a few times, so you know how to get here. Look at my handle, and let's get going. It's been a pleasure to coach people. I just love to see the growth. And if it's spiritual, that's right up my alley. They all are, but I love, because we believe spiritual is going to church and kneeling down and praying. Spiritual is not only that. Spiritual is how you think of yourself, how you think of others, how you describe you, how you describe others, your opinion of others, the assumptions you make. And the only thing that is required of you is to do your best in all you do. Even drinking water, do your best at drinking water. Do your best at breathing. So when you realize your breath is going, you know the difference. But otherwise, that is one action that is done independent of each of us. And the only time we check on it is when we go, oh God. You guys heard I said Norman Lear passed away yesterday or Sunday or whatever. And some of you who knew Stanford and Son, that show, and Stanford was Red Fox and his tongue was really something else. But in that show, he would go, his wife died. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming, Elizabeth. Whenever his son got him going. Well, this is what you have to remember. You have to do the best you can whenever you face challenges. Have a great day. Talk to you later. I love you. This is unusual to have somebody come on the Morning Blessings. I don't do it, but Amma is a dear friend. So I'm going to have her come on and chat with us. So hoping to see you guys later. So let me say goodbye to Kia, Nancy, Stacy, Amma, Angelina, Yuko, Georgie, Lisa, Ryan, Loretta, James, and Lynn. Wonderful people. Have a great day. I'm going to enjoy the snow by going for a walk in the snow. The rich auntie. How are you? You're a little late and you only caught me because I stayed longer. Have a wonderful day. You can listen to the video later. Have fun, guys. Talk to you. Love you. Bye-bye. And I'm honored to have been here with you speaking today. I'm happy and grateful to have had the privilege of talking to you this morning. And I get to do this every day at 8. What a wonderful opportunity. And I'm thankful that you show up. Bye, guys.